What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916. You tune into another edition of my vlog. I want to say thank you for subscribing, for all your support. Been getting a lot of positive comments, and one of the things I want to speak on was access to resources. When you see the distribution of wealth or the redistribution of wealth that's taking place, and this little supplemental payout that people are getting who are currently unemployed, I almost got to sit back and laugh. At the end of the day, the money that's being dispersed is money that people have paid out in taxes that have, worked more than hard already, and it's literally a slap in the face. Now, if you have a business, you could have applied for the small business loan, or if you have a corporation. But the big picture I look at is access to resources. If you've been in business a long time and you have a multi-million-dollar corporation, then you can get a multi-million-dollar loan. And just because you have a multi-million-dollar corporation doesn't mean that you're any smarter or better than somebody who's self-employed or who has $1,000 business. It just might be that you had better access to contacts, to connections, or possibly nepotism. I'm not mad. I just wish there was more of an equal playing field. My family's worked hard. I've effed up and made mistakes, and I had to pick myself up, and nobody gave me a handout. Everybody kind of just watched to see where the cards fell at the end of the day, to see if I had actually changed as a person. But nobody had the grand visions or the mind frame to do things at the level in which I see them being done now, and the level in which I envision, which I see the people who have limitless access to resources, and if things doesn't work out, they can bankrupt and start again. As far as the corporation, they write off things to the point where they don't pay any taxes. I mean, these are all things that aren't taught in school. You have to have somebody have laced you up on them, and you have to be, basically spoon-fed this part of the game. If there was any type of equal access, and I'm not talking about everybody making the same amount of money, but I'm just saying equal access to resources, where if you did have the opportunity, now if you took that opportunity and you tricked it off, you went and bought a bunch of cars, or you turn around and spent it on getting high or partying, then that would be your reward. But if you took that and invested it and made it work, then that would be your reward. But like I said, at the end of the day, having connections at the bank is some of the best connection you can have. And being able to have lenders who lend to you, people who help finance you on certain projects, because the richest of the rich borrow money. Whether you believe it or not, they don't use their own money. They borrow money, and they leverage debt. So, when poor people think, oh man, you're working hard to spend your cash, rich people aren't spending their own cash. They're leveraging everything. They're, practically own nothing. They write off everything, and, they put stuff in trust, and things are just passed down from generation to generation. It could be frustrating for those who don't know or don't understand how the game is played. A lot of people will never understand, because it's just not, something that's going to be taught at home. And like I said, you're not going to get it at school, because school has taught you to work for somebody else. School is based on you getting a job to be employed, to maintain the economic prosperity of the bigger corporations, the bigger businesses. So, you know, like I said, I'm just spitting a little game at you guys. And, you know, just to put it in perspective, if somebody gave you, one person, you know, 100,000 and somebody else 1 million, how much harder would that person with the 100,000 have to work to get to the 1 million, to get to where the person with the 1 million started off at, to go to the next level? Put it in perspective. So, you know, those who have it, who were born into it, they blessed, man. That's all I can say. You know, I wasn't born in anything but a hustle, to the point where, you know, people that I was around were just living, you know, bills were paid, things were good. You know, you didn't maybe want for anything, but you didn't actually strive for anything either, you know. And I guess my mentality of wanting to push above and beyond my surroundings got me into a lot of shit. And I made a lot of mistakes because, like I said, nobody told me what an LLC was, a sole proprietorship or S Corp. Nobody laced me up on how to do write-offs and the benefits of gradual depreciation of certain goods. You know, these are all things like, you know, I didn't know anything about. I was a little kid, man, and, you know, you do as you go. So I try to pass on what I can, because I don't like to see those out there, you know, making the same mistakes I did. And I'm not, like I said, I'm no business guru. I don't proclaim to be somebody who has all the answers. I'm just speaking on just life lessons, and you know, along the way, pushing for the greater good so that I could be more successful, you know, in the coming years, and share that success with other people who also try to be successful, and network, and, you know, hopefully get blessed with more opportunities so that I can grow my business and my brand, and help other people. You know, I spoke on, like I said, I've always spoken on the hip hop community. I've spoken on the churches, and you know, I just think that when you're in a position and you can help people, you know, I always try to see the good in people. I don't hate on somebody. If I see somebody that has talent, I try to help them, you know, excel in that talent to their maximum potential. I never had nobody really telling me any of this when I was growing up, so I like to tell you guys that, because I never had that person throwing a football with me, teaching me a crossover, showing me how to draw. You know, it got to a point when I was skateboarding, when the skateboard broke, that was it. You know, I was riding around on a half a skateboard. So it got to the point where I got mad, you know, let me take to the streets. So these are game changers, man. And I know you guys, you know, there's the things in your life that are probably game changers too, but at least if you can see the big picture and have an idea on getting to a position where you can access resources, you could change your life, the future of your kids' life, and your future generations. So just a little bit of game, man. And this all came from a comment that I made on my Instagram about an individual getting an $800 million loan, and you know, I mentioned to somebody else a stimulus check. And like I said, if I had access to an $800 million loan, I would have took it too. And I would have brought in a bunch of my people who do real estate, and we would have balled. So, you know, I'm just saying, access to resources is very important. Big Herc 916.